Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my show, Crypto Express. In today's video, we're going to primarily cover market updates and then two tokens, as you may have seen on the thumbnail, and we're just going to briefly go over them. I would like to do a deep dive on each of these because after doing my research, I have found that people are mainly grazing over them, not really explaining what these projects are. So that said, let us get started. So first off, as many of you may know, Bitcoin has still been struggling. It's been, and it's going to be in this volatile trend, sideways chopping for a while. Most likely until, according to my research, until right after the halving. The halving, I keep calling it halving. So nothing too shocking here. And once again, and I'll say it again and again, especially if you're new to crypto, this may be very alarming to you, but if you can just go back to the fundamentals and understand that Bitcoin is going to go up in value, always and forever, it's a long-term game, then there's nothing to worry about. So let's skim over, let's just look at some information to validate this. So if we go to CoinMarketCap, which is another great tool for you to use if you're not already. This gives you a bird's eye view. This is the 1 month chart, the 1 year, you'll see that in general, Bitcoin's going up. So once again, nothing to be worried about. Just some stats for you. I'd encourage you to go follow this account. As you know, in crypto, the news, the marketplace, the communities on Twitter X. So it's very important for you to be plugged in. This is my account. Once again, I post on all the most recent news, what's going on. Come follow me. And I have a lot lined up for you guys. My account's only 2 months old or so. And I'm just building furiously behind the scenes and plan to bring more and more information to you in a more orderly and organized way, market updates, and then tutorials, and then just literally tools, just really explain it, because I feel like when you receive all this information in one video, it can be very overwhelming and you don't know what's what. So anyway, go follow this account, but it gives it gives statistics or gives information on what's going on with the Bitcoin ETFs. There have been multiple institutions, these are all their abbreviations, that now are offering Bitcoin to their investors. And it's just continued to be volatile as well. And really what these flows mean, it's not so much an indication of how the investment's doing in as much as just an indication of where the investors are moving their money. Every time you see inflows, that's an investor, agreeing to buy a share. And every time you see outflow, they're moving out of their position. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin's not good or that they don't want to, that they don't, it has no direct implication on the actual asset. But that said, it's just some comedy. You may have seen it on other channels, but if I zoom in here, you would just laugh as I did, because at every bottom, at every dip that Bitcoin's gone through, everyone's like, it's dead. And it's not dead, it's just a dip, it's just a correction. And for those of you who have been in crypto for more than a season, for more than a bull run, you may have lived through FTX, Luna, Terra, a few major events in the market that really dipped the market. So it's all about perspective once again, nothing to be scared of. But it's good to realize that in the past, people have been terrified as well, because it just gives you, confidence, a sense of reassurance that this isn't the first time it's happened. It's very, very, very normal. And then once again, just a really funny tweet message from this gentleman, Thomas. He's just saying, like Bitcoin has been crashing upwards for 15 years. And that's right. I said it in my previous video. Charts are like a pulse. It's a lifeline, and it's irregular, right? There's a general beat. I mean, this is very irregular, but it's just market sentiment. And so you expect for there to be dips. It's healthy for there to be dips. And we know that historically there's always a dip or like, a drop, and an extended period. It's typically, I believe, 4 weeks. But once again, history only rhymes. It doesn't necessarily repeat itself. They're just indicators, but nothing to be worried about. As we'll read here from Rect Capital, they're great. You should follow them as well. Everyone that I share, you should pretty much go follow. It says the Bitcoin danger zone is where pre-halving retraces tend to begin. A pre-halving retrace of minus 18% has already transpired. As a result, the danger zone, this is what I was saying earlier, the danger zone has fulfilled its many purposes, beginning a pre-halving retrace. That said, time-wise, the danger zone will end once the halving has occurred, you see? So it's just countdown, and in a minute I'll show you a countdown clock, but it's like 16 days. So once again, if you're here, welcome. This is the time to get into position for the bull run. All right, so it says the goal of this phase is to concrete bottom that will form the range low of the reaccumulation phase. So what does that mean? This phase it's like establishing a strong foundation upon which Bitcoin will rally, right? So it's just very, very important to keep in mind. Once again, Bitcoin is not something I personally, I have longed it, okay, but I just have stopped because and it's a personal call, but I don't know. I just guess I'm doing too much and I'm not gonna go be a trader full time. So unless I know it's for sure gonna pump, because I just know like it's going crazy and I catch it in time, I'll put a long in. But otherwise I just do it for fun. I don't really do it very regularly. Yeah, so it's a personal call. I like fundamentals and I like following where the money goes. And if I know, and this is one of my goals of my channel, is to bring you the alpha of the deals that I hear. I'm not big enough as an influencer yet to get any allocations. Sometimes I get lucky enough and get some OTC from either friends or from my partner, Kyle Chasse, which many of you are here thanks to him. So thank you for being here. But yeah, so the tokens that I'm sharing, I just bought it, and many of them, feel free to ask me in the comments which ones, I have not bought in, because not everything that looks like a good deal, it's really a call. It doesn't mean just because the technology of a project's really great and everything about it's really great, it doesn't mean I'm going to go invest in it. Why? Because like I've said many times in my videos before, it really comes down to my attention span. It comes down to knowing yourself. Like, what's your work schedule like? When are you available to actually check charts? How much mind space do you have? Don't get overzealous and want to invest in everything if you're not going to be able to pull out in time to make profits. And in order to pull out in time requires you to be very, very plugged in that project, all those projects. It requires you to be using your trading view. Go to tradingview.com. I don't have it on this Gmail account that I'm using for this video, but track your tokens. Have a spreadsheet. Keep track of how much you bought it at, per token, the amount, the date, and then go to a site I'm going to show you in a minute, CryptoRank, and watch for the unlock schedule. I'm going to do another collab with Kyle, and I'm going to see if I can bring on some local friends that are in crypto, like Coach K. Some of you may know him. He's actually a buddy of ours. He lives not far from us. And let's see who else I can bring to talk about all of these factors. Like, how do they track their wallets? How do they choose what they invest in, aside from just getting an allocation into it? Anyway, there's a lot to say there. But that said, back to what I was saying, you invest into what you can keep track of. If you can't keep track of it, it's a bad idea. To track the project, when do they announce their announcements? Typically it's from 1 to 3 p.m. UTC, Universal, what is it, Central Time or something? Don't quote me. That's usually when announcements happen, but go find out, when does this project announce things? Be very, very plugged in. Usually with a big announcement comes a pump and a crazy dump correction. So it's just very important to be very tuned in. And then think about, how many projects are you going to be able to pay that close attention to? Unless you hire somebody, I would encourage you. I hire people to help me with this stuff. Go to upwork.com and hire somebody, an assistant, hopefully that knows crypto. But just tell them which Twitter sites to follow and to let you know any news that's going on anytime. If you don't have that kind of money, then it comes down to you. You have to be able to keep up with what's going on, because the only way you actually make money is, yes, there's many ways. You make it on the front end, right, by getting in at a very cheap price. But it's also by, it's by knowing when to sell. The only way you know how to sell, once again, I keep repeating myself, but it's by knowing when the news is going to happen, knowing the unlocks of the token circulation supply back into the market. Because every time there's an unlock, it devalues the token and it just causes crazy volatility. People buying, people selling. It's a crazy time. So, and the less a project has, the less the needing to be unlocked, the more stable the token is. But that also means you won't make as much money on that token if it, when it pumps, because all the tokens are in circulation, right? They're all being used. So, but it's more solid. So once again, it comes down to the types of investments. I've said it many, many times in every video, but I'm going to say it again and again, because this video is for new people mainly. I just hope, and of course, if you've been in crypto for a while, I hope I can help answer, and fill in gray spots. I think we all have gray spots. We know what we know, and huge gap of information that we don't know in certain areas. We're all like that. So I hope that I can help fill in those gaps for you, just really explain things. But yeah, so it really, like I was saying, it comes down to the types of investments you're investing into. There's your gold, which is like your Bitcoin, then there's like your future Facebooks and Microsofts, which are like your blue chip projects, like your Solana, like your, Bitensor, like your Polygon, Avalanche. Mind you, I'm not invested in those. I have some Polygon, but why? I mean, I should buy more Avalanche. I should buy Avalanche, I know, but it comes down also just to attention and strategy. And right now, I know I'm holding the blue chips that I believe in and I really like, which is very important. But I also know I'm going to make my most money in meme coins. Do they have a long-term use case? No, not unless they're Pepecoin or Doge. But are they going to run this bull run? Yes. So am I tuned in for when they pump, and am I going to take profits? Yes. Fine. And what am I going to do with that money? I'm going to go buy my other blue chips I believe in, and Bitcoin. So anyway, that was a bit of a rant, but I just thought it was important. And then just quickly, this news is about a certain Mr. 100. I mentioned him before in previous videos, but some suspect it's a country. We know several countries in the world. I was watching a news episode a little bit earlier about how several countries are struggling with incredible inflation, like Nigeria now as well. Argentina always, so sad. Venezuela. There's others, I just didn't remember because I'm still tired. I just got here very, very late last night. So anyway, Mr. 100, some suspect, is a country in the Middle East, potentially. And they keep snatching up a bunch of Bitcoin. And then this is interesting, and this almost merits its own video of its own, but it's basically speaking of the relationship between USDT, which is like the digital version of the US dollar. It's pegged to the US dollar. It's talking about the relationship between USDT and Bitcoin. And for some reason, historically, let me know if you want me to talk more about it. I'll have to go do some more deep dive research. I was just briefly doing it for this call, but Ivan on Tech talks about it all the time, about how it's just following patterns, right? And if we look at history, every time USDT prints, BTC increases. Why? Because people use USDT to buy Bitcoin, right? So that's always an indicator. So go track USDT. And when you hear they're going to be printing money, or they do, watch out, Bitcoin's probably historically going to pump. So just correlations. It's all like tracking. It's all like just tracking patterns. Yeah, so that's just more of the same news. Yeah, so this is also just talking about like the relationship with Bitcoin's all-time high, the DMA. Next, as I was mentioning earlier, this is the countdown. We have 16 days, a little over 2 weeks before the Bitcoin halving, which technically should end this extremely volatile time. No, it's always going to be volatile, okay? Especially now that we have institutional money in the crypto market with us, and we know that they play their leveraging games. And I think that, I believe that these ETFs that were approved prohibit a lot of this leveraging behavior from traditional like fund managers and just like the general market, like their strategies they use, right? But nevertheless, like we're going to see gains like we've never seen before. So I think Bitcoin is absolutely going to pump and rally like crazy. But do I think it's going to be very, very volatile? Yes. This is why you don't play Bitcoin. You just HODL Bitcoin, which means hold, spelled incorrectly. Anyway, just a little bit of drama. And apparently the US sent over 30,170 Bitcoin worth $2 billion to Coinbase using Silk Road hack funds, which are probably, what's his name, Ross Townsend. So sad, so sad. There's a whole him. I'd encourage you to go to Netflix and type in Silk Road, see what comes up. It's so sad. He's like the kindest nerd. He was just very early to Bitcoin and all of this, and he created Silk Road, which many of you may have heard of, but if you haven't, it was just like a black market where you could buy goods, illegal goods, using Bitcoin, and that's where Bitcoin kind of got started, and that's why it has the bad reputation it did. But currency is just currency. It always just depends. So anyway, I mean, the US dollar is used for like drug trafficking and like sex trafficking and human trafficking and organ trafficking, and still like no one's taking the US dollar to court. So it's kind of crazy. But anyway, this kid didn't know better. He's probably too smart for his own good. He's in prison now. It's so sad. Anyway, they seized his funds and everything, and now apparently with this news, it sounds like they probably used those funds and sent them over to an account on Coinbase. So that's the drama. I really hope they weren't his funds, but chances are they were his funds. It's actually interesting. There's a project called Cryptoland. They're friends of ours, and somebody spread some awful news about them, and it's awful. It's a whole thing. Basically, our dream, if you don't know us, my partner Kyle and I, is to create, I'd like to call it like a city of the future, starting off by being, starting off heavy in crypto, but really bringing in all the most advanced, innovative leaders and ideas, as they cross-reference, bring them into crypto, and just create a community of the future called House of DAO. I actually drew the logo. I would show you, but we've kind of entirely paused on the idea because we decided the best way to make the biggest impact was to make the most amount of money first, because then you're in a powerful position. So anyway, it's still on the roadmap, but it's not a priority at the moment, unfortunately. But hopefully all of you, our community that follow and watch us, will be part of our community if you believe in being part of a decentralized nation that where you belong, but you're free. Anyway, I get very emotional with that. But it's interesting, our friends, this is what I'm saying, that I had this project called Cryptoland, and they have this amazing video they made. They actually made the animation themselves, and they're gonna buy an island in Fiji so we could start this concept. It was like Disneyland, crypto Disneyland. Everything was themed in crypto humor and history, and it was awesome. Anyway, Max and Elena, they're Spanish. Anyway, I minted my NFT with their project, and interestingly enough, the NFT that I got they're like these coins that are dressed in like crypto swag, and it said like free Ross, like the Silk Road. So maybe there's something there. Maybe I should try to help rally, because it's awful. They gave him life in prison. Crazy. Anyway, so this is just some more drama on Coinbase. I'm not going to get into it very much, but basically the SEC charges Coinbase for operating as an unregistered security versus how it's going, US government transfers. Yeah, like this is just giving perspective. They transfer this much of Bitcoin to, they're accusing Coinbase of operating as an unregistered securities exchange, then they go and participate, right? And often by participation, we're equally guilty, right? What is it called? There's a term for this. What is it called? It's like being in cahoots, or like you're guilty by participation or association, right? So they're over here accusing Coinbase. And I'm not trying to start drama, okay? It is my personality type, but I'm not trying to start drama. It's not my personality type, that's not what I mean, but to be like a whistleblower. They call truth, and then like get in trouble for it. It's definitely my personality type. But yeah, so they're over here taking Coinbase and like charging them for operating illegally, and then they go and use Coinbase to send funds they confiscated from a kid that just simply built a platform. It's like, what if we find out that people are using Amazon or they're using eBay to sell drugs? Should the founders, which would be Elon Musk actually, no, it wouldn't be Elon Musk, forget, I'm tired, it's still getting better as well. Anyway, it's like it's crazy. It's like getting mad at the US dollar, or like a search like eBay or Amazon, as I was saying, for someone else selling something illegal on it. Like, does that mean that Amazon or eBay are to blame? No, it means someone used it illegally, right? But then it's a complicated topic because some say he knew and he endorsed it, but he was a kid, you know? It's awful. Anyway, gold has also hit its all-time high due to inflation fears. So inflation's just on the rise. Scary times, but there's just a shift in powers, you know? So this volatile time is to be expected. And I guess my only personal wish, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but if you're in the US, it would be like to try to leave. Consider Thailand. Thailand is crypto friendly, and you'll never see Thailand in war. They're a very peaceful Buddhist and Muslim, very neutral kind of country, but they don't tolerate drama. They'll straight kick you out if you cause problems here, which is good. Anyway, this just shows, you know, the relationship of the top global currencies versus the US dollar. And, you know, they're all, you know, pretty much depreciating, except for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up 21,369%. Another indicator for you that nothing is going away. And in terms of the most profitable crypto narratives or types of crypto investments, let me simplify it. That's what you say, narratives. It's Memecoins, number one, at 1,313%. RWAs, AI, DeFi, DePIN, Layer 1, Gaming, and Layer 2s. Take a screenshot of this screen and just use it to think about how you're positioning yourself, and don't use it as a guide. Realize where you're going to make your most gains, and then please have 3 buckets. Bitcoin, as you see on this list, your Layer 1, your Layer 2s, some gaming. In a previous video, I covered gaming. I'll make a note to cover gaming specifically, but you can also follow Alex Becker. I'm not earning anything for this, but he follows gaming closely. So that's what it's about. It's about following the people that are going to lead you and give you the information in that sector, because they're extremely well connected. So they're going to get alpha, but just keep in mind, you need to jump off. You need to take profits as soon as you possibly can, all the time. 5, 10%, 5, 10%, 5, 10%. Because that's how you win. Otherwise, you're just going to be at the end of the bull run and you're going to lose and you're going to be crying. I couldn't believe it. Like, I ended last bull run with like a fraction of what my gains were throughout the bull run. It was sad, but I was still fine because at least I was taking some money out. Anyway, now we're going to quickly just touch on 2 projects. There's Athena. Crypto Banter also covered this project, Athena. Quick note on Athena, very briefly, but I will do a deep dive for you. It's a new type of stablecoin that basically allows you, it pays you yield based off of Ethereum, right? Staking funds, or like profits or pool, okay? I don't know the exact term. And you can stake it, you can hold it, but it's interesting because it's like a USDT or a USDC. They're both like US dollar digital versions, but now there's Athena and it's called USD. I have not done a deep dive, full disclosure, but I want to make a video just on Athena. I'm endorsing it. I don't have any allocations. I didn't buy any either because, like I told you, I just got in last night and I had to prioritize my health and my sleep. So there you go. You're welcome. You can front run me. I'll buy some when it's done. Anyway, there's a lot of information on Athena, but I won't get into it because this video is getting a little long. And I'm going to be switching my schedules to morning schedule. And I'm also hoping to get out and about around Phuket and show you Phuket and do videos more out and about. I just have to sleep. I can't do late night videos anymore, though I will bring you a video later tonight, most likely, but not as late. Anyway, the next project I want to tell you about, next token, is called Wormhole. Oh, just quickly, Athena, this is where you can buy it. So you go to Quingecko, you type in Athena, ETHENA, can you see that? And then on Quingecko, right? Then you scroll to the left and you see where it says contract. This is where you copy right here. And it's on Ethereum, right? That's the logo. And you buy it through your MetaMask, not Solana, not Phantom. And you go to UniSwap. I've showed you guys before. I have a video on UniSwap alone. So go check it out. But you would go to uniswap.org and then you would connect your wallet and then you would paste this contract address. And then that's how you buy it. Next project and last project, and I do have a few words on other projects that I think are gold personally, and that I don't have an allocation in or a sponsorship in, and I do personally own them though. But it doesn't matter. Like, these are long-term investments for me. I'm not going to be selling them. Maybe like 5%, 10%. Anyway, Wormhole is the next one, and a quick word on Wormhole. It's a decentralized, just pay attention, decentralized message passing. So it relays information, blockchain protocol. Protocol is just like a program, right? Anyway, like it was a version 1, now there's a version 2 that was built on the version 1. They're both decentralized and they're the primary bridge on Solana. They've been, much like the project I shared yesterday, D-Bridge, but they're different. And full disclosure, like I said before, I didn't do a full deep dive on them. I'm just bringing them to you so you can be extra validated in knowing that it's a good project. And it's currently, as I was saying a minute ago, how Solana, it's the primary bridge for Solana. And bridges are used as it sounds, right, to connect assets, crypto, on different networks with each other. Because right now, things are a little bit disconnected. But everyone's improving to connect them more and more. Anyway, I don't own any either. I'll buy some once it dips. I think it's dipping now. You can't be in a panic. Let me just stress that. I'm not in a panic whatsoever. I have a sense of urgency that now is the time, the next 2 weeks, to put my chips in. But I'm not panicking if I buy it at a few cents difference because I know my strategy. So think about what you want your strategy to be. Aggressive, passive, you want to be super safe. Although crypto in general is not super safe, but there are strategies you can use. Let me know in the comments. That way it helps me know what kind of content to make for you. I did see your questions. Just please give me a minute. Yesterday was crazy on the road, everywhere, final appointments, and then getting to the airport in Bangkok. It's like a 3-hour process, and then like a 3-hour process almost getting back home. And so yesterday was shot. Okay, but I will get to all your questions. I'll answer most of them today. Okay, in my later video, most likely same time as usual. And this is where you can buy, going back to Wormhole, you can buy Wormhole on Solana. You see this logo on Solana? You copy here. Can you see? Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you very much, and I will continue to improve and continue to bring you more and more helpful information. Please keep leaving your questions. It helps me know what to make for you. It matters a lot to me that the world know how to get into crypto so you can become financially free, and it makes me very happy. But okay, join my Telegram community. It's linked below. I have a whole team dedicated just to helping you answer questions, and I share alpha in there too. I'll just drop it randomly. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you guys in my next video later today. Ciao.